I am amazed at the number of people who say that they have been practicing a certain meditation technique for as long as 50 years, if not 20, 10 years. Sometimes they practice this meditation technique for so long because it is good for them, and that is required for them in their spiritual progress. But most of the time, it is because they do not know that they need to change the meditation technique after achieving a certain state of consciousness. At other times, they are coerced into continuing that particular meditation technique because they belong to a certain group of people who practice that meditation. So if you drop a particular meditation technique that you have been practicing for so long, along with dozen or hundreds or thousands of other people, then it's like you are betraying your. As a result, many people are stuck with meditation techniques that are not doing them any good. Instead, it might even be degrading them. But let's not go there. So, my simple answer to is it good or bad to be practicing the same meditation technique for a very long time, my opinion is that it's you should at least change your meditation technique once a year. What has to change in that meditation technique might be the procedure, as well as the focus, or it might be even the underlying philosophy. But something has got to change, and you got must know that it has changed. In this book, I will offer you the various components that you have to consider in order to design a particular meditation technique for yourself. And if you are asking an expert in meditation to design it for you, then you'll also know what are the factors to consider. In ancient times, whenever somebody got crazy and behaved erratically, then they were taken to the local shaman or witch, and they were treated with all kinds of processes, like the shaman shaking, throwing stuff at the person, making sacrifices of animals, reading out mantras, talking with the dead ones, and so on. Some of the unfortunate patients of those witches or shamans healed, and most of them didn't, obviously. You might think that it has changed today, but to the dismay of people who are very aware of how mental disorders actually occur, or should I say the life cycle of mental disorders, the truth is that the shamans have been replaced by medical doctors, and their procedures has been replaced by medicines and pills. So anybody who is facing some kind of mental disorders, who is unstable, is given antidepressants of various kinds, and we can summarize them as pills. I am no medical doctor, so I would not venture into mentioning the various names of the medicines that are being prescribed. But based on my interaction with the patients of mental disorder, I have found that those medicines have not lived up to their promises. Again, it is not in my expertise and professional qualification to talk too much about this, but I do not believe that the highly intelligent doctors do not know the truth about mental disorders, and they treat it like it is a disease that can be cured by just taking in pills. The multi-trillion or maybe just $1 billion industry for antidepressants and the like is too lucrative for people to profess the truth. And the truth is that mental disorders are always caused by some kind of trauma. It might be a real trauma or it might be a perceived trauma. However, in the eyes of the patient, it was a trauma. So the mental disorders is an aberration of the unhealed wound of that trauma at the mental and emotional level. It can take all the various forms that we know in the DSM-5 listings of mental disorders, ranging from depression to bipolar up to schizophrenia. But who cares, isn't it? The doctors are happy giving patients medicines, and the patients are happy to believe that a medicine will cure them. As I have just told you, the roots of mental disorder is much deeper, and the cure is much more elaborate. Definitely, psychotherapy is a good alternative to medicines, as well as cognitive behavior therapy, or any of the various talking therapies, as you can say. Still, we need to have a more concrete principle and theory on mental disorders. There are many writers who have openly talked about the reality of what I have just told you about the inefficiency and ineffectiveness of medicines, and the need to have a more comprehensive approach to dealing with mental disorders, like the book called The Body Never Forgets. Writers and practitioners like that are very encouraging, and I'm sure that one day patients of mental disorders will be treated correctly. It's not enough to replace shamans and witches with doctors and their shaking and magic potions with pills. We need a holistic approach to help these unlucky people who have been thrown the bad cards in life. But we are getting there. So myself being an expert meditator, I will not recommend meditation alone as a way to heal past life trauma and the consequent psychological disorders. Instead, I will recommend you to read my book called Overcoming Suffering. I'll be talking more about it in the subsequent chapters. So I'll just leave it at the title. All I'll say is that it's a very sad state of being to be depressed, to be suicidal, to have severe mood swings, being bipolar, hearing voices. But we can come out of that mess by proper counseling. And this is what I talk about in my book, Overcoming Suffering. Of course, it is not limited to psychological disorders, but it is a subset that I cover in my book. On the other hand, if you are getting counseling on your trauma and psychological disorders that is conducive to you, then meditation will help you exponentially heal your wounds. As I already stated earlier, meditation is like a furnace in which the metals melt and they can take a new shape. So if through counseling you have gotten a new outlook towards life, a new way to organize your memories, to react, to behave, then meditation will accelerate your progress. However, if you are not equipped with those learnings from a good counselor, then meditation will further enlarge the older problems that you have. It won't do you much good. Moreover, you might become more self-centered and introverted as a result. Still, for some people, meditation offers a unique opportunity to connect with your higher self, which can guide you out of your trauma. That is exceptional, and that occurs in people who are naturally equipped with meditational intelligence, if there is a word like that. In such a case, the inner voice will guide the person who is suffering in the same thing that an external counselor would guide him towards healing. But that is extremely rare. Still, it is not totally impossible. In the old Hindu stories, we have the yogis and kings meditating so long and tolerating all the elements of nature working against them in order to get a boon from the gods above. And then the gods are happy with them and they materialize in front of the yogi and the king. Then the god asks him, "What is it that you want, my child? I will fulfill all of your desire because you have made me happy with your strict penance and meditation." Then the yogi or king will express his desire, which usually ranges from never having to die to be in the king of heaven. And so the boon or the desire is materialized. Is that just fiction or is it true? Well, in my own meditation practice, I realized that it is not fiction and it is true. By using a visualization kind of meditation and mantras that can create some kind of vibrations in the universe, you could materialize your desires. Now, before you laugh it off, let me explain to you the pseudoscience behind it. The mantras are vibrations of our brains, which we have condensed into words, and then visualization directly affects the frequency or vibration of the brain. So combined with sound and vision, the brain's frequency and vibration is such that it oscillates at a certain level of frequency that seems to attract some kind of events, opportunities, and people in that person's life. Then, because this person has got this mindset that he is seeking something, that is, he is expecting something, then whatever that event has occurred, or that opportunity has come, or that person has showed up, then this person will find a pattern and grab this chance of a lifetime. This would lead to the materialization of his desires. But again, you have to practice a particular meditation technique in order to materialize your desires. It means that you will not be able to achieve this goal just by practicing mindful meditation or some breathing exercise. So yes, meditation is very interesting because it has a very wide scope. As we discussed earlier, it can help you just relax. Then it can help you transform your consciousness totally. And now you just learned that it can also help you materialize your desires. That said, you must understand that just by sitting and closing your eyes and visualizing and reciting those mantras or a combination of other techniques will not fulfill your desires unless you have the skills, the knowledge required for that, and unless you put in the effort. But what meditation will do is it will align the stars for you. That's true.